Good morning.
Good morning, we're back again.
How are you?
Can't complain.
Can't complain?
Can't complain, life's good.
Good. That's all that's important.
Yourself?
I'm good, man. Living the dream. Yeah. Living the dream. Nah, it's been, I was just talking to you about it before, but it's actually been quite busy at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, which I've found really, really strange because normally with winter, it's normally pretty quiet. As you'd imagine, like a lot of people go away overseas or sort of fall off the bandwagon when it comes to training. But it's been really busy. Like we've grown.
Well, I think a lot of people are not going overseas as well.
Yeah.
Probably cash poor.
Yeah.
As well with everything that's going on. And, fitness is a good way, to relatively cheaply,
Yeah.
kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
You feel better, it's not that expensive. And on the flip side, if you go out, it costs you $500-600, right? Just for like one session.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I actually saw there was a post online about the generation, like the younger generation, spending, I think it was like almost $3 or $4 billion less on alcohol than my generation.
True, I think I saw that as well.
Did you see that?
I saw that.
Do you reckon there's truth to that?
I think there's truth, but I think they're just finding other things to use it on, like there's so many other newer type of, like alcohol's a drug.
Yeah.
There's so many other drugs out there.
It's true. I guess we don't know those stats.
Because they're all illegal.
Yeah.
I'm sure, the younger generation are not just sitting there.
Well, you look at the run clubs they do at Bondi.
I saw.
Like, dude, the people getting up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, there's like hundreds of people doing these run clubs. And the bars aren't as busy, so...
Well, it's too expensive, right?
It's too expensive.
Like I said to you, $500-600, that includes the Uber, there and back, the drinks, the dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do it on the cheap, but even if you go to a pub, like you're spending $10-15 a drink.
At least.
Yeah,
at least. So no, it's been a really good winter. We've only got 1 month left. It's been relatively warm as well. I think that's probably helped. But like you said before, a lot less people traveling to Europe, I think, at the moment. So they got a bit of cash saved. So it's been good. Yeah.
Well, obviously the war is still fresh. It's still going. It's restarted. We're week 2 or week 3 back into the new 60 days.
13 days or something, I think. Yeah. So almost 2 weeks.
Well, fuel prices are going up already. We can see this. The excise is finishing.
Yeah.
As well. So now there's a lot of pressure on the government to start doing things. And I think they've shored up a bit of supply from overseas. Yeah. But it just depends how worse or how long this goes, right?
Yeah, like I said originally, a long time ago when we first started doing this stuff, I said that this war would carry on for a few years. I still think that's true.
You still think so?
Yeah, I think so, man. I really do. I unfortunately think that this is leading into a world war. I think that world war began ages ago. I think the Ukraine-Russia war was the beginning. That's kind of how these things start. They start in localized areas, like smaller proxy wars or whatever you want to call them. And then they grow. And you can see like now Zelensky's getting involved with the Iran war. I don't know if you saw that, but he attacked, he didn't attack, they intercepted a bunch of drones or hit an oil tanker, something like that.
This is what I don't get. It's like now Ukraine is getting involved with the war between Iran, US and Israel. And it's like, what are you guys doing? You've got your own problems with Russia at the moment. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you want to get involved in something else?
So the reason was because the US was using missiles to intercept the Shahed drones. They were spending billions of dollars, wasting money. And Ukraine have obviously, done really well with drone warfare. So they were able to help them intercept these drones or whatever. That was the reasoning.
More like
it's cheaper way.
Cheaper ways.
Because the US are spending billions of dollars, and we've seen now they've stopped the bombings. Who knows why? Probably for the market manipulation or whatever. But I would also say that like they're spending just way too much money, and Iran's sitting back going, keep spending your billions of dollars.
Well, I'm not sure what they're going to do next because they've hit everything, the US. And it's like what they're going to hit next. Are they going to go after the power stations?
That's what they said, yeah.
Or the fuel storage facilities. Like that's the next step naturally.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I do think that will probably happen. And then I unfortunately think that Trump will send in troops.
Oh, you think they will too as well?
Yeah, I think they will. I think it's in Trump. Trump's too far in this.
He's too deep.
He's too deep, right? And the rhetoric I've seen coming out of the media, like Fox News and stuff, has been a long time around this whole, uranium thing. Like, we need to take out the uranium, we need to get rid of it, we need to flip the IRGC and all this stuff, right? And so ever since that, like, Americans have been a bit skeptical about the whole thing. But then when Trump played the peace deal talks and Iran mucked around, supposedly, and then struck oil tankers and did all this stuff, a lot of what I've seen, like, commented on these posts and Fox News and all that have been like, you know, it's time to take them out.
Yeah,
so you can see how well the media and Trump's decisions has psychologically changed the way people are viewing the war. Originally it was, what are we doing? This is stupid. To now, bomb them, get it over and done with.
Yeah.
Because our, you know, oil's too expensive. We're paying too much money for groceries. It's their fault. So I just think that he's probably got a lot of people's backing now. And obviously Israel's involved heavily, and they're having that meeting today.
Well, they're meeting at the White House today.
Yeah.
Netanyahu, Zelensky and Trump. It's like...
Which is really interesting.
Which is interesting and weird. Like, it's like all of a sudden now Ukraine's getting pulled into this.
Yeah.
If Ukraine gets pulled in, then Russia's going to get pulled in. Like you said, the proxy war is starting to come in.
Yep.
You know, if you look at it as well, China's just sitting back.
Yeah.
You know, and China, like I said before, does what it does best.
Well, China's got their own plans.
They do.
Right? We know what they're planning. And like, Taiwan has been, this is factual. This is what, you know, Xi has said. Like, Taiwan is part of our country, you know, and they've been doing their training. They've been, you know, sending warning shots. So I honestly think that Xi is just sitting by, waiting for his opportunity when the US and Israel and Ukraine are completely distracted by the Iran war.
That's when
he's got his plans. Yeah. And Xi and Putin are obviously tight.
Yeah.
With North Korea. So, yeah, unfortunately, I do think this is just the beginning. I really do, and I think the financial system is going to really suffer, and I think it's going to change.
Well, it's impacting us here at home already. Yeah. You know, I saw diesel the other day for $2.49.
Yeah.
Which is starting to get expensive.
Yeah.
Again, the uncertainty is there. We don't know if there's going to be supply. So people that have the oil are putting the price up, which is a natural market reaction.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to impact us. I think today we have CPI data out here for Australia, and they're already talking. I don't know if you noticed yesterday, the RBA has already started talking.
Yeah.
Hiking rates. They're already changing the psychology of people, saying, hey, this is coming.
Yeah.
So it's not too much shock to the markets next week.
Yeah, I saw that on the news last night. In 2 weeks' time, we've got the decision, and they were just saying that inflation's too high because of the war, of course. So yeah, we can expect to see a rate hike for sure, and man, it's going to be so hard.
Well, man, property investors, property at the moment has completely stopped across the country. You know, we have the new SMSF changes, which I think you can. If the last opportunity to buy residential properties are next week, next Friday. So you've got this little rush of people, investors who are rushing in to buy properties. And I saw an interesting stat the other day when the government first did the modelling about SMSF's buying residential properties. They said it's only 4,000 a year. I think I told you it's like 80.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then all of a sudden now they came out and said
it's more.
Well, it's actually more because we didn't take into consideration second-tier lenders. Now that 4,000 is all of a sudden 16,000 is 20,000.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Which is crazy, right? Like, of course they knew this. Of course there are second-tier, third-tier lenders who are lending residential property for SMSFs, and the numbers were underreported.
Yeah.
You know, so that's happening. That's happening next week.
Yeah. And these people are rushing in as well. Like, a lot of people that are trying to get into the market with their SMSF are rushing into a market that is devaluing.
Yes.
And it's dangerous.
It is dangerous because you're not sure what's going to happen next, you know? And it's like, I understand why people are doing it too, because they're like, well, this loophole, you could call it, is about to close. And we want to take advantage of it now while we can. Yeah,
I think it's really silly. I still think the market's completely overvalued. I think it has been for a really long time, and that's why I never got into the Sydney property market. I think maybe if you're going sort of Perth still or Adelaide, it might be all right.
Even those states are starting to fall back.
It's starting to slow back, yeah, exactly. So I personally think you're better off just staying away from property right now and moving into harder assets.
Well, that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're not sure.
Gold, silver.
What these impacts are going to happen.
Yeah.
And what do? You just wait. And that's what's causing, you know, our friends that are real estate agents that are all across the country, all saying to me like it's completely stopped. It's fucked. Which, of course, the rules are going to come into effect in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We have global uncertainty with oil. cost of living, all that stuff is coming through into the market. So naturally, what are people going to do? They're going to stop investing.
Yeah.
Longer term, of course, it depends on a lot more factors, but in the short term, like I'm talking 6 to 12 months,
people are going to stop.
People are going to stop. And that's what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah. So I think the next few days are going to be very fascinating. Like especially with the meeting with Zelensky and what's his name?
Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm. Because it seems like they're banding together, planning for a longer term conflict. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see big movements.
Well, the stock market is reacting already. In the US, the AI trade looks like it's blowing up. I don't think it's over. That's my personal opinion. But things have gone back 40, 50%, 60% even in the space of 2 or 3 weeks.
It's just the start.
Look, I think it's the start of something bigger. I think now, I still am of the view that he's going to ramp up, especially stock market talk, valuation talk, into the midterms, which happened in November. They're about to start. So there's no way, I don't think that Trump is going to go to the midterms with high oil prices or gas prices in the US, with the stock market that's collapsing. I think he's going to go there and he's going to make himself look good, right?
I think you're right, but I think your angle is wrong. So I think that we're going to see the stock market explode, like it's going to go backwards massively. I think we're going to see the crypto market have a huge bull run.
Okay, so you reckon it will sort of inverse?
Yep, it'll be a wealth transfer. Mm-hmm. So he'll sign the Clarity Act because the rest of the world has signed it. And America can't afford not to. Trump's come out and said that he wants to be the crypto capital of the world. Well, if he doesn't sign the Clarity Act, they're not going to be the crypto capital of the world, and the rest of the world will benefit from cryptocurrency. So I think that the world's going to shit itself. I think they're going to ramp up the war hard. Oil's going to spike massively. Then he's going to sign in the Clarity Act. Crypto is going to absolutely kill it. They'll have a wealth transfer, and he'll say, well, I've saved us. Problem, reaction, solution. The war happens, but look what we did. We became, we adapted, we changed, and now we have a new financial system.
Look, entirely possible. I don't disagree with the wealth transfer. I think cryptos, yes, they play a role in that transfer, but I think my view is the stock market will peak and go up really fast, and then it's going to go really down really hard. Whether that happens tomorrow, 6 months, or in 12 months, it's something that's coming. The US economy is slowing. The Australian economy is slowing. Even though I saw the jobs numbers for last month were not bad, but there was a lot of part-time employment. So part-time employment, it just means people are not working the full week; they're just working a couple of hours. And that also is reflective of people having a second job.
They're working a lot more. Ultimately, at the end of the day, there is going to be a crash. That's the same answer that we're getting. The way it happens, I guess we'll find out. But there's been some changes in the Australian government as well. We've seen Jacinta Allen resign.
She got booted.
What a surprise,
man! Victoria's been plagued by a lot of corruption issues with, when it comes
Andrews.
With Dan Andrews in terms of the unions. I think it's too close out to an election. He's just a fall guy. They did not like her. They knew it. The Labor Party knew it, and I think they knew by installing somebody else.
Keir Starmer. Do you reckon?
If they install somebody else, it may soften the blow.
Definitely not.
I think they're really scared of One Nation.
Yeah, they are, for sure. They've come out and said it. They don't want a liberal One Nation party to win.
And this is where it blows my mind that the Libs are still saying they're not going to join in a coalition or partnership, whatever, with One Nation. Because if you don't...
They will.
I think they will. I think they will too.
I think they will.
Because if they don't, it's just going to further strengthen Labor's position.
Correct.
That's what will happen.
I think you're right. And I think that's exactly the play. Liberal and One Nation are just basically the same side of the bird. They'll come together. They disagree with Labor. They'll be like, look, this is the only way that we can both win, really. And they get all the voters together. It's clever.
Look, it is clever. And I think what they're doing is, at the moment, Labor... they're only sinking ship in Victoria as an example, and they're just letting it play out. They're not getting involved. I think they also knew that this was going to happen, and I think the voters of Victoria knew as well. Man, changing your leader 5 months out, or whatever it is, a few months out from an election, is never a good look.
I wonder if Albo makes it to 2028.
Man, a lot of people are not happy with Albo. You know, and like there's a few things that he's doing. Of course, the negative gearing, the capital gains tax, all that stuff is pissing a lot of people off.
Yeah,
but you know, there's a few things that he keeps talking about. Like they want to go after superannuation now,
death tax, inheritance tax.
Like, I get it. You have a lot of power because you have a lot of seats.
Yeah,
but you're going to piss off a lot of your voters. And I think you're already seeing it already. But whether he changes or resigns or not.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's a passing of the baton, to be honest. I think that's what these governments are designed to do. I've always been under the same belief that they're all in it together. Yeah. And Labor, Albo's done his job. He's going to tighten the screws as much as he can, be hated as much as he can.
Yeah.
Will he make it to 2028? Probably not. Mm-hmm. And then he'll pass the baton on to Liberal One Nation Party.
Did you see him having dinner with the Chinese billionaire?
Yep.
It's like, and I saw him, he did a big gaffe. You know, he made this story up that I do a lot of dinners and all this sort of stuff, but it's like, you are having dinner with the son of a billionaire who owes the tax office $300 million. Like, you don't have dinner with a person like that, right? Or if you do, just say it and be out there and say, I'm meeting him for this reason.
Yeah.
No one's saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're lying about it and you're sort of making the story very vague.
But this is what I mean. Like how obvious is that? Do you know what I mean? And then even the thing that he did with that Kylie Minogue, like how he said that, like, I'm sorry, but how is that not done on purpose?
Yeah.
Do you really think that he sat there and said that by accident?
Man, he knew...
He knows what he's doing.
He knew the podcast was going on.
100%.
He's not coming onto our podcast. We don't talk about stuff like that, right? But he knew what he was getting himself into.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would have scripted the questions.
How many times does someone from government sit down and they probably get told, these are the questions you can only ask, and if you ask these questions, we're not fucking talking.
We're not doing it.
Right? So there's no fucking way that they didn't know that question was going to be answered or asked, and he answered it without even hesitating.
We're not even flinching. No flinch.
Right? And now all of a sudden he wants to bring in these new oil refineries, right, which are going to be built in 10 years. Like, it's a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah. Man, I saw the oil refineries as well, and it's like, all of a sudden now you're anti-climate change? Like what are you doing? You're shutting down big business.
He's lying.
Yeah, he's lying.
On purpose. Yeah. And Pauline as well has been in a bit of trouble with some of the remarks she's made. So it kind of shows how that dynamic of Liberal One Nation coming together will be, a big benefit to both.
Look, I think as well with Pauline, she does gaffes as well, but she seems a lot more authentic.
She's a bit like Trump, you know what you get sort of thing, even though he's a fucking idiot, like he's a dickhead, you know he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and then there's Barnaby Joyce as well. Did you see the thing where he yelled at the dog? I was like...
But look, I've got to give it to Labor. They had the conference in South Australia, and I think the South Australian Premier, he made a good remark, like a humorous remark. He's like, if Barnaby can't even control his dog, how can he control the country, type of thing? Yeah. Which I thought was pretty good. Yeah. But Barnaby, it's like, come on, man.
It's just, like,
what he's
nothing. Yeah.
Like, you're on TV. I get it. Your dog's giving you shit. But like, man,
he's just an old white man. He's just an angry old white man, to be honest. That's why he lives on a farm. Stay away from people.
It's going to be interesting over the next few months. I do think they're going to, like, coalition have to sort of join with One Nation, whether they like it or not.
They do, because they're losing.
Man, they're losing, and like Angus as well, man. It's like you're not hitting home.
Yeah, Angus.
Like, I don't know who needs to tell him what you're saying is not working.
He's in a bit of trouble too for some corruption or donations as well. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah, there was something. I don't know the full details of it, but yeah, they're being investigated for donations. Man, of some sort.
A part of me also thinks he's just a fall guy as well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a nobody.
Because it's like, man, what you're saying is not piercing through to people.
No,
it's not getting through.
Nah, he's there to be quiet on purpose, and yeah, the spotlight is all over, Albo being shit and One Nation being great, and immigration. Immigration's one of those things that people want to slow down because of what's happening in Melbourne, and it keeps getting worse. We're seeing what's happening now in Europe. I don't know if you've seen, but there have been some pretty hefty stabbings, and they're calling them terrorist attacks. So, I guess a lot of Aussies are looking at that and going, well, we don't want to be that. So
Exactly.
They are, even though there might be some remarks made by Pauline that people don't agree with, they want to be safe.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that a lot of people who have voted Labor or Liberal are considering One Nation.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
Most people I speak to are on that boat. So
and like people on both sides, it's not just liberals.
Both sides.
Labor. It's like I know a fair few Labor people who actually think it's to go one nation as well.
Correct.
And I think this is what's happening
because of the lies.
Because of the lies.
Yeah.
And you got to think as well from an economy perspective.
Yeah.
Right? If you cut migration is the thing that's sort of fueling house price growth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, negative gearing changes, capital gains tax changes, possibly trust changes. Now you're going to bring less people in.
Yep.
It's like, I get it. You know, Labor had to go after property. It's an easy win. And I think it had to be done as well in terms of slowing down the growth. But this is the perfect storm. You know? Going into a global economic crisis, uncertainty. It all sounds
with certainty. With a government that has certainty, right?
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I say this off camera, I'll say it on camera, I don't care. It's all by design.
It's by design.
If you think that you're voting because you have a right to, well, you're an idiot. You're being psychologically manipulated to vote for a certain party.
Well, this is the whole argument about migration as well. They're saying that these migrants are coming in, you know, and the first people they're saying, the first party they're saying is Labor.
Yep.
And they're saying that now, and the same thing happened with the US.
Yeah.
You know, last year or when the election happened, you had a lot of people that were coming in, they were voting, that were not supposed to be voting, and obviously they're going to vote for the party that's given out all the handouts.
Yeah.
And that's what's changed in the US.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Psychology.
Yep.
What do I get out of this? And then you vote for them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're all full of shit. They're all full of shit, and we end up more broke, and they end up more rich.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
Oh, look, the oil refineries got me. I was like, so
we used to have 8.
Yeah, we had a few in Victoria. We had a few around the country.
Now we got 2.
And it's like, and one got burnt down a few months ago.
The Geelong one,
The Geelong one.
Yeah.
But it's like even that. It's like, so now all of a sudden you're shifting policy. And he's going to get hurt for this as well, Albo. It's like, so now do you want oil or you don't want oil? Like, do you want the investment to come in?
Mixed signals.
It's mixed signals and the market doesn't like that.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all.
Because people that have got their electricity bills lately have noticed how much it's gone up. And they're very sneaky.
Yeah.
They haven't increased the rate per hour.
The timing.
So there's 2 ways they charge. It's the kilowatt per hour.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, that's what comes through each hour. But then you've got the supply charge, just to have the connection at your house. That's gone up like 85%.
Yeah.
So even though the kilowatt per hour has only gone up a tiny bit, it's gone up 85% in terms of the supply charge.
Yeah.
So have a look at your electricity bill, and anyone that's watching, have a look at your electricity bill from last year to this year. You're not yourself.
Man, it's huge. It's massive. Don't worry. I look at our monthly bill. We get charged monthly at the gym. It's like fucking. It's almost $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
And this is before all these new charges.
Yeah.
Wait until Christmas comes this year.
Yeah.
Right? All the air cons are pumping. You know, like everything. Obviously, the days are longer. That's when you're going to see the hit.
100%. You don't really see it too much in winter. You got gas heaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, summer you'll see it for sure. Yeah. Ominous signs, but this is where the opportunities lie.
Yes.
This is where you have your money parked in cash and you wait for the opportunities to come.
Yeah, and the opportunities will come. I know you're big on cryptos, whether it's cryptos, the stock market,
gold,
the property market,
silver,
gold, whatever. But whenever there is a time of crisis, you need to have cash to make...
Stop spending your money.
You need to have cash to buy these opportunities, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you're buying your $7.50 coffees 3 times a day and not putting it into assets, utility, gold, commodities, things like that. Like, look at the price of gold, man. I think we brought this up before, but look at the price of gold. Like, it's stuck at $4,000 US.
Yeah, it's
in turmoil. Yeah, it went up to like 4.8 and came back down. But you look at those drops and then those peaks. Like, why would you not put money into gold?
Oh, look, when it comes to like a wealth strategy, if you're just spending all the money you get in living, you're never going to be rich.
Put some money aside.
You have to put money aside. You know, learn some investing. And it's very easy now. It's not hard.
It's easy. Like you got AI, and honestly, my biggest message to people who want to learn to invest is create time and space.
Yep.
And also make sure that you've got options. We spoke about this before. Like, what are your options to create a lifestyle that is like minimal, where you're spending the least amount of money you can and saving the most that you can and putting money into assets or shares or whatever it is to build wealth over long term. Because if you keep it in cash, as we know,
it goes down.
It goes down
Sure.
because of inflation. So cash is not safe, but it's smart to have on the side to put into an opportunity.
Yeah, and people that are listening, like investing, it doesn't have to be $10,000, right? You can start, and there's a lot of apps.
$50 a week, man.
That do it automatically for you. You know, you can buy stocks on autopilot. You don't have to be, a JP Morgan stockbroker.
You don't. And like I've just been using chat. Like I've been putting in like, the resistance levels, support, highs, all that stuff. And it just helps me like build a strategy. And I think the number one thing is as well, is if you emotionally can't handle the drops,
don't play.
Or the highs, don't play.
Yep.
Like you've got to be mentally in a good place to be able to handle the lows. Because if you sell there, then you miss out.
That's what they want you to do.
They want you to sell your liquidity. Basically, to them, your liquidity.
Exactly.
So if you understand that and you go into the market knowing that you could just become liquidity, then you can actually win. Yeah.
And I think...
not financial advice.
No. And if you're watching the news, the news is where, the news is always the last place. The last people that hear about all the investments, That's usually when they bring the liquidity in. They tell the retail people,
to bring money in.
The retail money will then go buy them, and they'll be exiting, because there's always a buyer and a seller. And that's where the market... the market emotion and all that comes into play.
It's already boomed if it's on the news.
Yeah,
it's already boomed. It's too late. Yeah.
If you see it on the news, you have to sell out.
Or you need to wait till the next drop for sure. But as always, stay safe.
Stay safe. Till next week.
See you next week.
Catch ya.